How are you all? We are meeting after a long time after your exams, right? Okay, so now today we'll start a fresh chapter. Chapter 9, Measurement. So we are going to learn importance of measurement. What is basically measurement? See, in our daily life, we measure so many things, right? Like we measure the length of a cloth. Yes, we measure the weight of the vegetables we buy. Yes, we measure the height of some person. Yes, we measure the amount of water drunk by us or amount of petrol put in the whatever we have put in the car or a vehicle. Yes, we measure the time which we use to do something. So all these things are measured. Weight, height, length, time, amount of something. These all things are measured. And there should be some proper measurement, some units, some techniques of measurement to measure things. Yes, randomly we cannot measure things. Like suppose when your mother goes to buy vegetables, okay, the vegetable vendor or the hawker gives you vegetable. Now what will happen? Mama will say, I need 1 kg of potato or suppose half kg of tomatoes. Yes. So what will he do? He will measure them in the balance, whatever he has. Okay, weighing balance, the machine, and then he'll charge accordingly, and then he'll give it to you or your mother. Yes or no? So what happens? What are we doing? We are measuring weight. You cannot just buy, okay, give me 10 tomatoes or 2 potatoes like that. Yes, because they have to be properly measured. Then only the person can charge. Okay, so everything can be measured. Okay, there are units for everything to be measured. Like earlier, there were no standard units. So how were people doing all these things? See, people used to use non-standard units of measurement. What are non-standard units of measurement? See, the first one is hand span. Hand span is the length of this span, okay, the length of this hand. But see, my hand span is different, your hand span is different because your hands are small right now, my hands are big, so it is different. Maybe there are people whose hand span may be bigger than mine, their hands may be bigger than mine, so the area may be bigger. So that means if we measure things in hand span, that may be different. Suppose if I measure this board, it comes in 1, 2, 3.5. It comes in 3.5 hand span of mine. But suppose if you measure the same board, it may come in 5 or 4.5 hand span. So that means, do you think it's a standard unit? No, it's not a standard unit. The next is cubit. Cubit is the length from your palm to your elbow. This is actually the cubit length. Okay, but this also may vary depending upon the length of the arm. Yes, your may be small, mine may be bigger. There may be some people whose hands are bigger than me. Okay, so there may be different. So this is also again not a standard unit of measurement. The next is foot span. Foot span is the length of your foot. The length of your foot. Yes, this is basically a foot span. This is basically a foot span. And stride is the distance between two legs. Now see, foot span also may vary. There may be children whose feet are small. There may be people whose feet are big, and then there may be people whose feet are bigger. Yes, when we go and buy shoes, some of us we have 7 number, 8 number, 9 number, or maybe bigger than that. Yes or no? So even foot span are different in different people's. Same way, strides also is different. Stride is the distance between two feet. Yes, when I walk, suppose I take long strides. Okay, but there may be people who are taking small strides or longer strides than me. So that is again not actually a proper measurement. Yes, so these all are called as non-standard units of measurement because they may vary. They may be different from different people, of different people. A hand span may be different of different people. Same with cubit, same with foot span and stride. So these are not a proper units. So to avoid confusions, people discovered standard units of measurements. Okay, there are some specific quantities, specific units of measurements which were discovered. They are called as standard units, okay, of specific quantity, and in short we call them units. Okay, so now what happens? We are going to learn about these units in detail. Like suppose we need to measure length. Okay, so there are units like meter, centimeter, kilometer. Suppose if we need to measure weight, so there are grams and kilograms. Okay, suppose we need to measure capacity, that is of a liquid thing. So for that we have liters, milliliters, and so on. Suppose we have to measure time. How do you measure time? We measure time in seconds, minutes and hours with the help of a watch, clock. Yes? So these are the ways which people found out, and they all are called as standard units. So I hope by now you must have understood the need of measurement and what are the non-standard units and what are the standard units of measurement.